Greetings and welcome back. This is our Monday movie night 2025. My name is Twisted Cricket 42. I am joined by Angelo the Wizard and Relic 522. We are a bunch of streamers that like to get together on Discord and watch movies. But we don't do it in a normal way. We have a little bit of a game that we like to play. Uh, each movie must share something in common with the previous movie. We've been doing this now for about 3 years. Uh, these are the rules. Each movie must have a thematic link to the previous movie. Links cannot be repeated within two movies. The movies watched in October must have some kind of a horror element. The movies watched during December must be either Christmas related or be generally heartwarming. And the last movie of the year must link back to the first movie. So, welcome, Angelo. Welcome, Relic.
Yeah, the fifth rule was something I did as a joke last year, but it's now become an official rule because of that. So, there's nothing more permanent than something you do temporary.
Indeed. So this all started because I noticed that there are a lot of classic movies that I've seen that Angelo hasn't, and I wanted to rectify that. So we started watching movies once a week or so, and then eventually it came into this game. Now, in addition to this, we also have a little side bet going to where at the start of the year, Angelo and I each pick 5 movies in secret that we have to sneak into the movie list. Um, Theoretically, whoever gets their 5 first wins, but we're not that competitive.
No.
But still, it is a lot of fun to try and see how we can find a link to sneak our movies in despite everything. Um, Last year's movie, we'll go ahead and try and put a link in the description to the 2024 list. It was pretty good. But this year was definitely interesting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna list the movies off, all of them, without explaining the link. So if you want to watch them, you can watch them in order and then try and guess the link that we used, and then come back to the movie or to the video and see if you were right. Or theoretically, since the movie links back to the beginning, you could start anywhere in the list and watch them in order, and they would all link.
Yeah,
That's the beauty of it. So here is the movies that we started with. At the beginning of the year, I did Gentlemen Broncos, which is a very interesting movie to begin with.
Bit of a head trip.
Okay.
But after that, we had Pulp Fiction.
Okay. From Pulp Fiction, I decided to challenge myself, and we'll explain it when we get to the links. But the link from Pulp Fiction is Spy Kids 2.
And after that, we went from Spy Kids 2 to another sequel movie, Batman Returns.
Okay, from Batman Returns, we decided to go old school and go The Toxic Avenger.
Off of Toxic Avenger, we managed to get to Star Wars A New Hope. It's a little difficult to see on that poster, but it is, in fact, A New Hope, Episode 4.
And we will have the movie titles, just the titles, down in the description, in case you can't see them clearly.
Yeah.
From Star Wars A New Hope, we went to The Last Starfighter.
From Last Starfighter, we went to Galaxy Quest. We stayed in space for a while here.
I like space.
Space is fun.
From Galaxy Quest, we did a complete 180 and went to The Quick and the Dead.
A Western. And then we went back even further for Conan the Barbarian, the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Which led us whiplash to modern day with Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves.
Off of that, speaking of going to modern day, we went straight to Ocean's 11.
From Ocean's 11, we went back to the 80s with Revenge of the Nerds.
And from Revenge of the Nerds, we jumped around again to Big Hero 6.
From Big Hero 6, we went to Rogue One, a Star Wars saga.
We're back in space for this. From Rogue One, we went to Alien, the original.
From Alien, we went to The World's End.
From horror to comedy. Speaking of comedy, we stayed on that for Corpse Bride.
Which led us to a modern-day retelling of a classic cult movie, Plan 9.
Not sure if I'm going to forgive you for that one, but off of Plan 9, we managed to get to The Rocketeer.
Which led straight into Saving Private Ryan.
A very clear and easy choice, and that led us naturally to Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, figure that one.
Figure that one out.
Some of these links are obvious. Some of them you're gonna be head scratching. From Lilo and Stitch, we went to Bubba Ho-Tep.
And that's another one that I'm not sure I'm going to forgive you for. But from Bubba Ho-Tep, we were able to go to The Mummy, the original with Brendan Fraser and all the cast. You know it, you love it.
Which led to Dune, the original with all the cast that was critically laughed at.
Yeah. And Dune obviously led us to Princess Mononoke.
Which led to a little Netflix movie, Pig.
And yes, that is Nicolas Cage on the cover there. From
Yes.
Pig, we went to The Menu, starring Lord Voldemort himself.
From The Menu, we went to The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's in this row that we start really getting some head scratchers, because from this we went to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Which led to The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
After that, we went to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Which led to Bridget Jones' Diary.
Obviously. From that, we led to Mrs. Doubtfire.
And then to Keeping Mum.
From Keeping Mum, we went to Caddyshack.
Which led to Summer Rental with John Candy.
And that, obviously in a turn of events, led to Muppets Treasure Island.
Which circled around to Goonies.
And from Goonies, this is when we enter into October, and our first movie for October was Deep Rising.
Yeah, I'm not forgiving you for that one. From Deep Rising, we went to Galaxy of Terror.
I feel like you had to get me back for Deep Rising with that one. But from Galaxy of Terror, we went to the original British version of The Wicker Man. No Nicolas Cage here. We already had our fill for the year.
We had Christopher Lee instead.
Exactly.
From The Wicker Man, we went to Call Girl of Cthulhu, which ended October.
Yeah, good luck on that one. That Call Girl of Cthulhu led us naturally to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
And then to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
There are some leaps going on here. From Eternal Sunshine, we went to Coraline.
And then to Clash of the Titans, the original.
The original. And now we enter into December, which had 5 weeks. So we started off December with a classic Christmas movie, Home Alone.
And then How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
The Jim Carrey version, for those of you keeping track. From that, we went to another Muppets movie, Muppets Christmas Carol.
And that led to a sort of a made-for-TV movie, but if you watch it all together, it's movie length, Soul Music.
Yeah. And from Soul Music, we ended the year with Nacho Libre.
So there it is. Nacho Libre links back to Gentlemen Broncos, somehow. So pick a movie, watch them in order, try and guess the links, and then come back to see if you were right. Now, a lot of these movies will have multiple links, but let's see if you find the ones we use. I will tell you this. We didn't reuse a single link all year.
I was going to mention that, but it gets a little. There's some where we're splitting hairs on the semantics here, but more or less they're all unique links.
Right. So, if you want to sign off now, that's good. You enjoy your movies, and we'll see you when you come back. Now,
all right.
For those of you sticking around, we're going to explain our bullshit.
Yep, it's time to explain the bullshit. Starting with you explaining your bullshit, because Gentlemen Broncos was your pick.
Right. I wanted a movie that neither of us had ever seen before.
Good choice.
Was just out there. I have seen memes of this movie so many times out of context, and I was like, what the hell? So we decided to watch the whole thing. The context improves it a little bit. I understand the memes now, but mainly there it is from the makers of Napoleon Dynamite. That should explain everything.
That pretty much explains everything. For those of you who are still here, if you see the cricket here on the screen, that means it was one of Cricket's choices. Obviously, he'll be talking about it. And then if you see my wizard in the left side, that means it's my pick. Moving on. So for me, for Gentlemen Broncos, I had a little bit of a toughie figuring it out, but I eventually settled on the idea of Pulp Fiction with the link of multiple concurrent storylines, multiple stories all happening at the same time. People agreed to it. We watched it. Pulp Fiction's great.
Right. So from Pulp Fiction, I challenged myself. I wanted to link Pulp Fiction to a Disney movie. And I racked my brain. And I did some deep research on this and found out that during the scene where Quentin Tarantino is on camera in Pulp Fiction, they had a guest director, Robert Rodriguez, who directed the Spy Kids franchise. And during Spy Kids 2, it was a few years briefly where the publisher was owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So I did it. I linked Spy Kids 2 to Robert through Robert Rodriguez to Pulp Fiction with the link of same director asterisk.
Yeah, the same size of asterisk is on the box here.
Yes.
Anyway, so from Spy Kids 2, in Spy Kids 2, they all attend this fancy party to appoint the new director of the spy organization. We could talk about how many ways that doesn't work, but the party is interrupted. And so is a similar party in Batman Returns. Partius Interruptus.
Yes, 100%. I definitely love Danny DeVito in this. I love Danny DeVito in anything.
DeVito did great. Did great as the Penguin.
So there's one scene in Batman Returns where someone gets thrown out a window. Defenestration. So I use that link to get us to the Toxic Avenger.
I must have recorded the wrong link then, so scratch this out and put defenestration in there.
Yeah.
So, it's still unique, so don't worry about it. It's still unique.
Yeah.
We didn't use throwing out a window for anything else. From Toxic Avenger, in Toxic Avenger, there is a scene where someone's arm gets cut off and is thrown onto the floor, which obviously led me to Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, because everyone remembers the scene in the cantina where Obi-Wan cuts off the dude's arm.
The limbs get hacked off so many times in that series, you'd almost think it was a director's fetish or something.
You'd almost think.
So, the Starfighters in Star Wars led me to a sort of a knockoff, you could say, or people thought it was a knockoff. It's not really, but
it's doing its own thing.
Which features starfighters in space, etc.
Yes. From The Last Starfighter, we did stay in space with Galaxy Quest, using the idea of the heroes being abducted by aliens.
Right.
Wasn't exactly their choice the first time, for either of them.
True. It works. Galaxy Quest, because there is the scene at the end where they're on stage and the guy comes out and he grabs a gun and shoots him. That's technically a gun fight. So gunfights leads us to The Quick and the Dead.
Which we had both seen before, but it's still a good movie, so I did not argue seeing it again.
Another thing we do after the movies is we pull up the IMDb trivia page and read about interesting facts about the movie that we may or may not have known.
Yeah.
So even movies we've seen before are very interesting.
Exactly. So in The Quick and the Dead, the main character played by Sharon Stone, her whole objective is to avenge the death of her father, which led me to Conan the Barbarian, the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. Now, to get from Conan to the next one, it's obvious. Same genre, fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves. I have wanted to see this since it came out, but for some reason hadn't. Shame on me.
Yeah,
but marvelous movie.
I will admit, I absolutely slept on this movie because I took a couple looks at it and I didn't think it was going to be that good, and I have been thoroughly shamed for it.
No, this is so much better than the early 2000s Dungeons and Dragons movie,
Yeah.
which shouldn't even have the name.
Yeah, honestly, if you have not seen this movie before, this is one of the, like, my two standouts. One of my few standouts from this year of movie watching. Go watch it. It's a good one.
Right.
But as the title implies, our heroes in this movie are a band of thieves, which led me to jump us to Ocean's 11, with the heroes also being a band of thieves.
Now, I've played Payday 2 quite a lot, but I've never seen this movie or any of the others, so this one was a pleasure.
Yeah. It helps that it's not, like, it has the trappings of a heist movie, but it's not a heist movie in the end.
No.
That's
But
where the surprise is.
Because these guys commit a lot of crimes and get away without punishment, I decided to use the same thing to link to Revenge of the Nerds.
There's a
where
lot of crimes without punishment.
If you watch several lawyer videos on YouTube that talk about everything they did, they should still be doing time.
Yes.
But they're the good guys, so obviously they get away with it.
Yes. Now, as for Revenge of the Nerds, the inciting incident in the story is a college building getting burned down. And so with that, I used that link to get us to Big Hero 6, another Disney movie that I kind of always wanted to watch, so I took a good excuse there.
Right. I especially like the animation in this one. It's
very
smooth.
good animation.
The characters are very emotive.
Mm-hmm.
So I use the link of robots to get us to Rogue One.
Yes.
Which has Alan Tudyk. How many? Voicing K2SO.
Yeah. This is another movie that I kind of slept on because, like, it was knee deep in the sequel trilogy at that point. I don't think anybody got out of that unscathed.
No.
So
the sequels are terrible, in my opinion.
This is pretty good.
Rogue One, and to a lesser extent Solo, I both liked.
But the finale of Rogue One features a party that dwindles very quickly. The idea of the dwindling party got me to Alien, where they're picked off one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Except the smart woman and her cat.
Which gave me flashbacks to Alien Isolation.
I've got that in my Steam list. I should play it someday.
So, from Alien, it was in Alien, spoilers, jump ahead about a minute if you don't want the spoiler. One of the characters, and I won't say who, is actually an android, a secret robot, which is the main point of The World's End. There are robots among us, they look like humans, and they're basically in charge.
Yeah, it was a fun little movie. The World's End features heavily people's limbs coming off and being reattached, which I used to get us to Corpse Bride, which is yet another Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, Tim Burton movie.
Which proved to me that Depp can sing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does sing a little in this movie.
Yeah, I saw this before Sweeney Todd, so I wish they'd sing more.
Mm-hmm.
From Corpse Bride, I use the link of The Dead Walk the Earth, which for the ending, the dead come back to life to attend the wedding. And we linked Plan 9, which is a movie that is a remake, a modern day retelling of a classic that was terrible. It's so bad that it is known for being bad. It won 2 Golden Turkey Awards. Worst director and worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
This one fully acknowledges that it's going to be a ridiculous plot, and they lean into it, which I appreciate.
Yeah, we have seen both. We used the original Plan 9 from Outer Space for our award month that we did several years ago.
Yes.
I remember handing you the win on that one because of Pinocchio. But moving on, from Plan 9, we went to The Rocketeer because during Plan 9, they start the movie of Plan 9 by filming a movie within a movie. Rocketeer also has a similar scene where they're filming a movie while this movie is going on. And I had always wanted to see The Rocketeer, so once again, it was a way of getting me to watch something I wanted to watch.
I had never seen it either.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised, honestly, by that.
It explained a lot of the holodeck scenes from Star Trek Voyager. That whole genre. But still, the main protagonists in The Rocketeer are, of course, the Nazis. So I used the link of fighting Nazis for Saving Private Ryan. Now you thought I was going to go with, Inglorious Bastards, but no. No, we went
No.
Saving Private Ryan instead.
I mean, you're still fighting Nazis. You're just, not
Doing it a little more classy.
more classy, more because you're ordered to. Now
That link makes sense. This link.
So Saving Private Ryan starts with D-Day invading the beaches of Normandy, which means that the scene takes place on a beach, which allowed me to link, obviously, a beach scene to Lilo and Stitch.
And he hadn't even announced that he was gonna, do a challenge link or anything like that. He just dropped this on us with no warning.
Yeah.
So
I came up with it, and as soon as I thought of it, my first thought was, I am going to make them, I am going to surprise the hell out of them.
okay, so in Lilo and Stitch, there's a throwaway scene where they take a picture with an Elvis impersonator. I used a link of Elvis impersonator to link Bubba Ho-Tep, starring Bruce Campbell and Ozzie Davis.
Yeah.
Another cult classic. I'm famous for cult classics.
He does like his cult classics. I appreciate them for what they are. But Bubba Ho-Tep has an Egyptian sorcerer as the main antagonist, which let me jump to The Mummy, which I had never fully seen. So I've used this experiment to fill some holes.
Definitely. That's why we started. So, having used the Mummy or Egyptian undead as the villain, I decided to go a different direction and use deserts, just in general, to link Dune. Not the modern day one that everyone was talking about with Timothy Chalamet. No, the original, where they completely butcher several elements of the book.
Yeah, but it was still
it does feature Patrick Stewart with hair.
Yeah, this was a few years before Next Gen, actually, so that's kind of interesting. I also, as an aside, there are so many movies that I have to put the year of release on there just because there's been so many fucking remakes.
Yeah, it's safe.
But anyway, so I identified that a somewhat major theme of Dune is this idea of the natural world versus the technology that's trying to exploit it, which led me to Princess Mononoke, a Studio Ghibli movie.
The first Studio Ghibli movie that I had ever seen.
Yeah.
So this, compared to the others, was definitely slightly more adult, more dark, but it's what I started with. So
there's a slight undercurrent of dark in all the Ghibli movies. It's just that this one is a bit more blatant about it.
So one of the nature spirits in Princess Mononoke is a large pig. So I used a link of pig to link to pig.
Yes.
Which, after reading the synopsis, I was thinking it was going to be John Wick with a pig, but no, definitely not.
No, it's a lot more subdued and a lot more cerebral of a movie, and I will consider this one of my standouts for the year. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yes, watch this movie. I'm not going to say a damn thing except that Nicolas Cage in the trivia said in an interview that this is one of the favorite movies he made and helped produce.
Yeah, he dug into his own pockets for this.
Yeah.
So now I will say a little bit that Nicolas Cage does play a character that is a world-class chef. I need to say that so I can establish the link to The Menu.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what I was expecting with this one, but it got dark fast.
It got it was really good.
Of all the people I've talked to that have watched this movie, they say that they love this movie. It is just brilliant. It's it's funny at times, but at the same time, it's just like, what the hell just happened?
And a random point in its favor, this movie is produced by Will Ferrell. Like, he's one of the producers on it. So
there's
figure that one out.
Humor. So from The Menu, at one point, the men are released into the woods and hunted for sport. So I decided to link The Running Man, a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger is falsely accused of a crime, thrown into a game show, and then hunted for sport by gladiators. This is I credit this movie with the inspiration for American Gladiators.
It definitely feels like American Gladiators was definitely copying some homework here, as well as a couple of scenes from Next Gen. But so, as we were watching The Running Man, I had a dawning realization that our main characters were wearing red and yellow spandex outfits. This led me to Deadpool and Wolverine.
Which finally got a friend of mine off my ass who had been telling me to watch this movie since it came out so that she could talk about it without spoiling it.
Yep.
So,
I will admit that was part of a reason for me doing this. I just realized I had the easiest trigger in the world to do it, and you could finally talk to your friend about it, and I kind of wanted to see it in the end anyway, so.
It's so good. Yeah. Anyway, during a scene in it, they're jumping between universes as he's trying to find the right Wolverine, and one of them they jump to is the universe where Wolverine was played by Henry Cavill. Now, when it came time to do my link, I wanted to use same actor, but I didn't care which actor, so I came up with a link for every actor in the movie and said pick one. And Angelo picked Henry Cavill, so we watched The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, a historical movie based off of an actual event.
Yep. It's a slight bit of historical fiction. It's one of those very loosely based on a true story thing, but it has an appearance by Ian Fleming, not the actual person, but like a character, like someone playing him as a character, who you may know as the writer of the James Bond novels.
And this event was, at least in part, an inspiration for them.
Yep. So from there, during the movie of Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, there is at least one moment where the heroes are on a boat, they're being chased by other people on a boat. I used boat chase to get us to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where there is a little bit of a speedboat chase.
Mm-hmm. In Streets of Venice.
Yep.
Well, streets. The canals.
The canals of Venice. Yeah. Honestly, the way they use those canals, they may as well be the streets of Venice.
It's a classic. It's by far my favorite Indiana Jones movie. And I saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but this one's still my favorite. Anyway, from this one, I decided to use a link of same prop to Bridget Jones' diary, because the main prop in Last Crusade is the Grail diary that his father made.
Kind of the same idea
here. Whiplash link.
Yep, a little bit of a whiplash. But at least we kind of stuck on the whole idea of kind of heartwarming comedies, I guess. Because I linked from this with the link of people getting divorced to get to Mrs. Doubtfire.
I want to see some of the other versions of Mrs. Doubtfire, the different versions of her when he improvised. The trivia on this one was really good. I would recommend it.
Yeah, look up the IMDb page, if nothing else.
I chose a link of Housekeeper with a Secret to link to Keeping Mum, starring Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, and Maggie Smith, Professor McGonagall, as well as, a few others.
Yes, a few others. You can see Patrick...
Incidentally, the last film of Patrick Swayze.
Yeah. Speaking of Patrick Swayze, you can see him back there. He plays a golf teacher for Rowan Atkinson's wife in the movie. I used a link of golf to get us to Caddyshack.
I hadn't seen this since I was like 6, and I probably shouldn't have been watching it at 6, but such was my childhood. In Caddyshack, there is a scene where the Rodney Dangerfield is going crazy on a yacht, which is a boat. So I chose to link to Summer Rental starring John Candy, which also features a yacht race.
Yeah. This and the boat chase for Indiana Jones, like, this is where I say that, like, some of them are a little bit close and we're kind of splitting hairs, but it worked. It was fine. We were cool.
You chose boat chase. I chose boats in general.
Exactly. But in Summer Rental, Rip Torn plays a character that is dressed up as a pirate. So I used the link of... He what?
He's a pirate. They might as well have said it outright.
Well, I used the link of pirates to get us to Muppet Treasure Island, featuring Tim Curry, who considers himself a fellow Muppet.
Wonderful movie, great songs, and the tourist rats that are along for the ride just, made me chuckle every time.
Yes.
So, since he used pirates as a link, I chose to use treasure as a link to get to Goonies, although I could have used pirates again.
You
A
could
lot
have.
of these links could be repeated, but we like to not do that.
Yeah.
So, treasure gets us to Goonies.
From there, in the Goonies, I do a lot of links where it's just like one scene that happens. I'm not sure you've noticed by now if you've been following along. But in the Goonies, there is a scene where a man suffers injury inside a bathroom. He is suddenly attacked in the bathroom. The same thing happens in Deep Rising.
Yeah, Deep Rising is a movie where this guy builds this giant boat and decides he's going to hire mercenaries to scuttle it for the insurance money because he's too deep into the debt from it. It's not profitable.
It's like, what
The
if the producers
mercenary
was
ship
serious?
the mercenary ship goes out there but has a problem, and they decide to basically go on board the ship to get some repair parts. When they get there, they find that everybody on the ship is dead, so it's an empty
Mhm.
ship. I linked Galaxy of Terror, which is from the 1980s, where they also are sent to find survivors and discover an empty ship.
Yep, dead ship, as I called it. Um, from there, in another one scene thing in Galaxy of Terror, there's a scene where a character is burned to death. That led us to Wicker Man.
Right. Which I haven't
Excellent
seen
movie.
either version of this.
Oh yeah, no, this version is excellent. The Nicolas Cage one is, uh, it tries to be way more serious. Like, it tries to really play up the horror, but it kind of ends up being really camp because Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage. This is honest to God terrifying, and it's a very slow burn on it. Like, the more the movie goes on, you just get
Funny.
okay, pun, yes. But the more the movie goes on, you just get more and more uncomfortable with everything you see.
I kept trying to guess what was going to happen, and I usually am good at that. But up until the last 20 minutes, I didn't know which way they were going.
Yeah.
So, from The Wicker Man, which features what I would consider a cult, it's a nature cult, but it's a cult none the same, I decided to link Call Girl of Cthulhu, which I read a little bit about and was like, they made a movie out of that? And yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. For anyone familiar with the Cthulhu mythos, it's that. It's B movie. It's not even B. It's C movie. But they lean into it. They know it's going to be bad, so they make it funny bad.
Yeah, they at least know what they're doing. They know that their budget is $50 in a Burger King meal. Like, and it's actually like it's actually kind of decent if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad,
The
is what I'm getting at.
The effects are really good.
Yeah.
And the makeup. The plot is just ridiculous, but you knew that going in from the name.
Yeah. I will admit I struggled linking off of this one. So I eventually had to settle on, there is one character in this movie that wears an eye patch. And so I got
For
to
no
Oh
reason.
Brother, Where Are... Yeah, no reason is given why they have the eye patch. At least there's a reason in this one, but Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? There's a character that wears an eye patch because this movie is a huge reference to the Odyssey. And they wear the eye patch to mimic the Cyclops.
Yep, John Goodman plays the Cyclops.
I almost called him John Candy, but I knew that was wrong, so I didn't say anything.
Nope, it's the other one.
Yeah.
All right, so again, from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? At the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where these three guys who are chained together are trying to jump onto a train. Okay, George Clooney makes it and starts talking with the guys on the train to sort of, talk his way in. The second guy makes it onto the train. The third guy fails to get on the train, trips, and pulls the other two out in a rather comedic scene. So I used a link of exactly two characters on a train to link to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Which is a head trip and a
they
half.
meet on a train. Oh God, yes.
Like,
This is another movie. If you haven't seen, watch it.
yeah,
It's
we're not.
Jim Carrey, but it's not a comedy.
And so okay, so linking to Coraline, like the whole crux of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is that it is a be careful what you wish for sort of story, which I used to link us to Coraline, the animated version. I had read the book, but I had never seen the movie. Wanted to watch the movie, see how it stacks up. Pretty good. Neil Gaiman was basically on call for all the changes that got made. In fact, he even suggested a couple of them because he didn't like what he had written before, or at least wanted to change it. So very, very excellent adaptation of the story.
I haven't read a lot of Neil Gaiman. I should rectify that. About the only thing I've read is Good Omens.
Yeah, I would recommend this. This one is pretty good read. It's also a pretty short read. So
the animation on this was 100% claymation. Now, the guy that was known for claymation was Ray Harryhausen. So I decided to link back to the original Clash of the Titans, which features several fights done in claymation, where they mix clay and reality, like sword-fighting giant scorpions and stuff. It's really good. It's telling of the legend of Perseus.
Yeah, we did quite a bit of Greek this year. I kind of like that.
Yes.
Anyway, from Clash of the Titans, there is a scene where, because it is the legend of Perseus, they have to invade the Medusa's home lair. So I used the link of Home Invasion to get to Home Alone.
Which I smirked at that link, but we are very generous with our links, so I said, why the hell not?
It got us into December. It got the ball rolling. We kind of got a little. We got to be a little more easygoing with December links, I think.
So Home Alone does not translate well to modern day. There are several plot points that just couldn't happen now.
Nope.
But that's part of the charm. And the trivia again on this one was really fun. From Home Alone, I decided to use a link of stealing to get to How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah.
I could have done either, but I like the Jim Carrey version.
Yeah. I like that I can just list the key actor here instead of having to use the year for this one. Everybody refers to this as the Carrey version.
Yes.
So from there, I used the idea of the man who just hates Christmas to get us to the other most well-known Muppet movie, Muppet's Christmas Carol. And we watched it on my birthday.
Yes. So, the Ghost of Christmas Future wears a large black robe. And a character in Soul Music, which is based off of the Discworld series, is Death, who wears a big black robe. So there's my link. I regret nothing. In fact, I'm still currently reading this book at the moment for about the 4th time.
Yeah. This is the one where we kind of stretched the definition of movie on. Was really more of a made-for-TV series, but someone on YouTube apparently managed to splice together a movie link variation that just cut all the intro and outro stuff out. So I okayed it. I thought it would be a good time, and it certainly was a good time.
Yes.
So from Soul Music, I realized that Black Cloak is the most positive link we used for all of December. Because from this, I used a link of Sarah in this movie. Her parents die in front of you at the very first scene.
Susan.
Or Susan. I keep calling her Sarah. I don't know why. But anyway, her parents are dead. I used the link of Parents Are Dead to get to Nacho Libre, which links back to Gentlemen Broncos because it is the same writer. Also same director, but we already used same director, so I couldn't use it again.
And a couple of same actors.
A couple of same actors, yeah. But same writer kind of saved me from that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's full circle. That is the movie. It's a loop. You can start anywhere and get back to the beginning.
Okay.
Now, we'd like to bring in our other friend, Relic, who at the beginning of the year, we send him our 5 secret movies, and he acts as judge for any disputes on whether or not a link is valid, whether or not a movie is valid, or anything like that. So, first off, without revealing the 5 movies, Relic, let's get your opinion on degree of difficulty for each of our lists, compare and contrast.
I think this year is going to be a lot harder than last year, because I think you both kind of picked up on what each other did last year, and have rectified that by making your lists a little more nuanced, I guess, and making it more difficult to pick up the odd ones out, if that makes sense.
My
Agreed.
guesses are probably in trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see what you both guess for each other. Obviously, I've known the entire year. It's really hard not to spill when one gets picked. But I'm interested to see because I don't think there's any necessarily like specific standouts in both the links and the movie selection.
Okay.
Okay, so even keel.
Yeah.
All right. That's why we added an extra rule for this year, which we'll get to after all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like to go first, or would I like to go first with my guesses?
I guess you're going first because that's what I listed. So I'm gonna go.
Okay.
We're gonna go into the editing mode here, and I will go ahead and write down your guesses as you make them.
Okay. So, my guesses, and I've got 4 runners up that didn't make the guest list, but I'm hoping at least one of these is on here. First off, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Okay.
Alien.
Ooh, go ahead.
Lilo and Stitch.
All right.
Princess Mononoke. And Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Those are my 5. The ones that didn't make it, but I was considering, were Mrs. Doubtfire, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Ocean's 11, and The Mummy.
You should have put Mrs. Doubtfire on there. That was one of them.
Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
Okay, you have 1 correct.
Damn.
Would you like to guess which one it is?
It is not.
Alien.
It is not Alien.
All right. Let me have it.
Okay, I actually, let me quick refresh myself on my own list here. Give me a moment. So, my 5 were Home Alone, Galaxy Quest,
Damn it.
Princess Mononoke, there's your 1,
All right.
Corpse Bride, and Mrs. Doubtfire.
See, the ones where it felt like I handed you the link, I should have gone for, but I didn't. So,
I thought Mrs. Doubtfire was going to be on your list for sure.
Yeah.
But also, picking Home Alone, I think, was also a really bold choice because
unless you sneak it in earlier in the year, that's kind of cursing you to finish in December.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been doing a thing, and I'm gonna be dropping it for this coming year, where I put 1 horror and 1 like Christmassy or heartwarming movie on there to sort of give myself a challenge for those months. But Corpse Bride I did outside of October, so clearly that's not exactly doing the trick anymore. So now we get into my guesses, and I'm gonna be honest, I picked the 5 that I felt that you were maybe stretching to get in. So, and also some that you were kind of like really excited to get to. So my guesses for yours are Bubba Ho-Tep, Quick and the Dead, Plan 9, The Last Starfighter, and Dune.
Angelo, I have bad news.
Am I completely off base?
You missed every single one of them.
Oh boy! You at least got 1.5.
So I guess that makes me the winner.
Definitely.
All right. So my 5, and I'm going to give you a hint here that might, change your guesses. I did a movie for each different decade from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 10s, and 20s.
Ooh.
That's what gave me the idea for what we're adding this year, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, okay.
So, in order from earliest to latest, my first one was Toxic Avenger.
I thought that you might be. I don't know. I guess Toxic Avenger felt like such a natural slide in that I didn't really think anything of it.
See, and that's where I for like Mrs. Doubtfire. So My next one was Saving Private Ryan for 1998.
Fair enough.
Mostly because after putting in We Were Soldiers, I wanted to have another war movie, just because a lot of them are really well done, and
Yeah,
former soldier here. So
fair
uh,
enough.
from there, we went to 2004 for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and
Really?
that's the one. That's the one I was worried about sneaking in because I knew I had to do it during November, but I only had 2 weeks to do it.
Shit, yeah, okay, you managed it.
So yeah, that's why it's sort of a stretch of exactly two characters on a
Mm,
train.
yeah, I should have thought about that.
My next one for 2013 was The World's End, mostly because I hadn't seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen Shaun of the Dead, I've seen Hot Fuzz. This is the end of the trilogy.
fair enough.
And that
Um,
brings us to the 2020s, which now that you know my shtick, do you want to try and guess again?
uh, I think the only one that really fits there would be Honor Among Thieves, wouldn't it?
That is it.
Yeah, okay.
Because again, I wanted to see it. Movie night's a perfect place to put it. So there it is. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
each of those is from a different decade.
I guess then I kind of got a spill that I also kind of had a uniting meta theme for mine. My five, I'm a bit of a fan of the Cinema Therapy channel on YouTube. They have a full episode list that they keep updated. So I basically just went through the list and was like, oh, I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie.
All right. Well, that brings us back to the slides then. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are our five. We sneak it in. Now, for next year, we have an extra rule.
Mm-hmm.
Our five movies must share one common link, and we may not use that link anywhere else for the year. Like if you pick, five Keanu Reeves movies, you cannot use same actor for the rest of the year.
Yeah. That is going
So,
to close off a couple of easy picks for me, but that'll be fun.
mhm.
So
So we do the movie night Monday nights on our Discord, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'm sure we can sneak a link to it down in the Discords. Basically, you join the voice chat, hit watch stream. If you don't even want to hear, because we jabber on it like we're watching a Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie.
yeah,
If you don't want to listen to us, you can mute us and just watch the movie. That's fine. But yeah, or here's the idea: start doing this with your own friends. It's a
yeah,
really fun game. It's really challenging, and you get to see a lot of movies you've never seen.
because you gotta stretch in order to make those links. So
Right. So, I believe that wraps it up, unless anyone else has anything else to add.
no, I think what I'll do is I'll just end our slideshow on the mural. So if anybody wants to see it again or just copy paste it, here you go. Here's every movie we watched this year, all in glorious stretched out eye strain vision.
It was great. I had a lot of fun. So, thank you very much for watching. For those that made it to the end, you know, thank you. But for those that only watched the first five and came back to see what the hell we linked, I'm sorry that a few of those are out there, but still. All right, so I am Twisted Cricket 42.
I
He is
am
Angelo the Wizard, and he is Relic 522. We all stream occasionally, some more than others, on Twitch. So definitely stop by. So thank you, and you have a wonderful rest of your whatever.
bye.